go over a few guidelines for teaching children how to form a new letter. Letter formation is one of the trickiest parts of learning a letter, and there are 4 things that you can do to make that more efficient. Okay, the 4 things are: you are going to, 1, provide kids the starting position. So on this particular Handwriting Without Tears chart, the starting position on this slate is on the top left corner. So for a letter like H, that is an appropriate starting position for us. Okay? Starting positions are not always on the top left. So for example, if you were doing an A, you would want to provide the starting position here in the middle. And an easy way to start a starting position is to give a box so kids can actually see the relative space, and then provide a dot for the starting position. So this is how you would start an A, and starting an S would be over here on this space. Now that's much more efficient than just pointing to a big white space and saying start here, because starting an S here, the child's really not sure whether they should be going this way or whether they should be going this way. Creating a box and then providing space, you can't go this way, so it's this way to make that letter. So the first thing you're going to do is, that's right, provide the starting position. The second thing you're going to do is provide a verbal pathway. So if you're teaching kids to make the letter H, you're going to give them the starting position, and you're going to say, tell your hand how to make the H, like this: down, down, across, down, down, across. And get the child to say that little prompt with you: down, down, across, H, down, down, across, H. Somewhere in your notes, write down exactly how you told them to make that letter H, so that you can say it the same way every time. Now, some districts are actually adopting particular patterns or prompting sequences for those verbal pathways, so that if you're in that district, it doesn't matter which first grade classroom you're in or kindergarten classroom, all teachers are using the same language to describe how to make the letter. Okay, so you're going to provide the starting position, you're going to give kids the verbal pathway, and you want the child to say that verbal pathway. It's the way that they can coach their hand how to make that letter. The third thing you're going to do is you're going to ask the child to make that letter multiple times, but also in multiple planes. So right now we're working on a horizontal plane. You might want to ask children to kind of stand up and make the H in the air, or you might have a dry erase or chalkboard that's, vertically oriented, so the child can form the letter that way. It doesn't feel very different for us as adults, but for young children, those connection pathways in the brain are sensitized to that change in the plane. So you're going to provide the starting position, you're going to provide the verbal pathway, have the child tell his or her hand how to make that letter. You're going to have them form the letter multiple times and on multiple planes, so horizontal and vertical. And the last thing you're going to do is every time the child forms the letter, you want them to say the letter. So the whole process could look like this. We're going to learn how to make the letter H, and it goes like this. Here's where we start. Down, down, across, H. Down, down, across, H. Now you make the letter and tell your hand how to do it. So you hand the pen to the child, and the child makes down, down, across. What did you make? H. You want the child to provide the verbal pathway and repeat the name of that letter each time. Down, down, across, H. All right. I would have the child make that on a vertical plane. You can't see that very well, so I won't try to replicate that. 4 considerations then, always for letter formation: provide the starting position, a verbal pathway, have the child say or tell their hand how to make the letter, repeat that. Every time they form the letter, they should name the letter, and they need to form that letter multiple times on not only horizontal but also vertical planes. So those are the 4 things you need to remember when you're introducing letter formation to a student.